Hey coaches, Coach McKie here, and welcome to my channel. If this is the first time visiting my channel, welcome. And if you're wondering what in the world is this channel about, let me explain. This channel is dedicated to the spread offense. We talk about passing schemes, running schemes, RPO, tempo, any and everything that has to deal with the spread offense, we talk about on this channel. So if that is something you want to be a part of, if you want to join our community, then please hit that subscribe button down below and then hit that bell notification right beside it to get the latest updates on when I go live. Coach Mumme didn't create the mesh concept out of thin air. He actually borrowed it from the 1980s BYU, but he has made it his own. He has put his own tweaks on it. He has taught it better than anybody in the history of football. And it is, when you think of the mesh on one hand, you think of Coach Mumme on the other. And you can see that every day. You can see it Friday nights when you go to a high school game. You can see it Saturday nights when you're watching college football. And you see it a lot now in the NFL with the crossing and a spot route right behind the meshes and all of that. And all of that kind of flavor comes from the man himself, Coach Hal Mumme. And a couple of years ago, I went to California to the One Back Clinic, and he gave an hour-long presentation on how he teaches the mesh concept, and it blew my mind, and I want to bring it to y'all. So in today's video, I'm going to go over how he teaches the mesh concept at a 2x2, how he teaches the mesh concept at a 3x1, and what he does out of the two-back formation that really makes you go, why haven't I been doing that? So let's get into it. Coach Mumme does, and the beautiful thing about the air raid is these guys, the L's and the R's, they stay the same. The L is always on the left side, the R is always on the right side, and he runs the mesh. He is very right-handed, and he runs the mesh the same way all the time. And what is that? Well, originally, this was a 10-yard out. So he's running 10 yards and a speed out like that. But after Coach Mumme got with June Jones, he got a little bit of the the run and shoot and infection. And what he did after that with this is he gave the R the option of either running a 10-yard speed out, a corner route, a 10-yard corner route, or a post. And what they did is when they did the drills, and I'll get into the drills in another video later on this month, but the R would come up, he would see where the corner is, he would see where the safety is, and he would give a signal to the quarterback like, hey, I'm going to run a post, or hey, I'm going to run an out, or hey, I'm going to run a corner. And that's what the first read was. It was always to the R regardless of what the formation was. The first progression in the mesh concept was to the R. Now, what happens is then the L and the Y are the meshers, and the Y is always meshing in Coach Mumme's, let me get that out of the way. The Y is always meshing in Coach Mumme's concept. Always. He sets the mesh at 6 yards. That's where he is. He is on top. Always, always, always. If he goes further than 6 yards, that he's going to get his ass chewed. But 6 yards is the thing. The L always comes underneath. They actually in practice teach slapping hands, and then he makes the Y correct always. So if the Y is 6 yards and under, then he is correct. And if the L messes up, if there's space, that is the L's fault. But if the Y is 10 yards and the L slaps the guy's hands at 9, then it's the Y's fault. And if you keep that, that allows you to know who messed up on the route and who didn't. And that's a beautiful thing that you can do, because sometimes you just don't know what you're looking at. But if you can keep that in mind, okay, the Y, he's at 6, good. The L didn't slap hands, that's the L's fault. Or if the Y is at 12 yards, but the L slapped, well, the L did what he was supposed to, the Y didn't. And now you know what you're looking for in that play. And the F, you were running a 3-yard speed out, getting to the sideline. If you get to the sideline and you don't get the ball, you just stop and just sit there and you just wait. And what Coach Mumme said was the F, if you were so wide open that if the quarterback farted it out to you and you could get 10 yards, you call ball, ball, ball. And the quarterback is taught, hey, I hear ball, I'm just going to throw it out there. Now, if he throws an interception or if the F doesn't get 10 yards, but the F called for it, then that's on the F. That's not on the quarterback. Coach Mumme doesn't get on the quarterback. He gets on the F. So this is strictly for the F. And what the tailback does is he releases. So he's looking from here to here. If none of them come, then he releases. So, okay, coach, that is great. What's the progression for the quarterback? So let's just say straight up right now, the R signal to speed out or a corner. because that was the first progression as a corner. So it's a 10-yard corner. And remember the rules of the air raid. If you're 20 yards and in, the corner is the back pylon. If you're outside the 20, it's the front pylon. And the reason why they did that is so you know where you're going to throw the ball. The quarterback and the running back are on the same side, and you know where to look for the ball. Because I don't know about y'all, but when we first installed this, he was running an out, the quarterback. They weren't on the same page. The quarterback's throwing a corner. He's running an out. So you really need to stress landmarks, landmarks, landmarks. So the quarterback, it's not a 3-step drop. It's a catch and pivot. It is a catch and pivot, and I am looking, can I throw that corner? Yes, I'm letting it fly, baby. LFF, let the fucker fly. That's what, And if the corner bites right here, the tailback steps up, sees nothing, and flies out, and the corner bites right here, where now you got a whole shot. If not, if they don't blitz, and that's what we're going for right now, if they don't blitz, then the tailback has leverage over this linebacker. And this is the key right here. It's the same key for Y stick. It's the same key for the snag concept. The linebacker that's head up to slightly inside the Y. So if he just sits, the corner takes this away, now you're throwing the ball there, and the ball should be gone in like 1.5 seconds if this happens. If not, if the linebacker flies out here, well, now you have the mesh finding all this grass. And you're saying, Coach, that is great. But what if this linebacker right here replaces? Well, remember, the mesh concept is if this guy is meshing, he's slapped hands, he's looking for this guy right here, this opposite linebacker. This opposite linebacker is opening up, and he is going to this area. Well, now he just sets up right there, and now you have all this grass. That is the beautiful thing. Well, Coach, that is great in theory, but what if this linebacker is right here after he slaps hands? Well, then he finds all this grass right here, and then he runs to that area. And see, this is where all those drills come into play, where you're finding grass, taking grass, find grass, take grass. It is that simple. And Coach Bronco, what's going on? Corner, play side mesh. Yeah, that's the progression. Corner, actually, Coach Mumme goes corner, running back, mesh, backside. That's the way he teaches it, because he likes to keep it simple. It's the same thing as the stick, stick or flat. It's the same thing as Y corner, corner to flat. So if you keep it the same with the mesh concept like that, then you really aren't teaching your quarterback anything new. He is just looking and throwing, doing the same thing on stick, the same thing on corner, and the same thing on mesh. And that's the beautiful thing about this system is you think the quarterback's, from the outsider perspective, the quarterback is doing something different on every single play. But if you can keep it consistent, that is what you need. And it's really consistent for the quarterback. He's doing that. It's almost the same read as Y corner if you really think about it. And all of these, the stick, the corner, and the mesh, under Coach Mumme's philosophy and thinking, it is quick game. It is a catch and throw. It's a catch, pivot, and throw the way they do it. It's really, when I heard that at the One Back Clinic, and I don't know about y'all, but they just announced the new clinic coming out in June in Shreveport, Louisiana. I'm going. I've already booked tickets. It's June 22nd. I'm there because I missed the last one, so I'm going to alternate every other year, and I will bring back the stuff, if you can't make it, what I wrote down, and I will talk you through it. But that is what he talked about. Coach Mumme did this presentation a straight hour, and I was enthralled. I wrote it all down. I taped it secretly. Don't tell anybody. But I figured, hell, I'm traveling all the way to California. I should be able to do this, so I did it anyways, and that's what he did. Now, so it's 1, no, 2, no, 3, and then backside right here. But if this corner, if any time he hears this F, so if he's right here, but he hears that F go ball, 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 he is turning and he is throwing it to the F. And that's a way you can keep the defense honest. I know what you're thinking. Damn, Coach, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 with air raid, just 2 drop back steps and then vertical setting and getting it. There's no way in the world he can do that. And I'm going to be honest, you're absolutely right. That's why you got to teach this guy, hey, if you've got grass, if everybody forgets you, you go ball, 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 and you can do it. Coach Tim Smith ran mesh with my 10-year-old flag team today and put up 47 points. Coach on the other side couldn't believe we were running it. I tell you, the mesh, it works at every classification. It's just that, a lot of coaches don't look at it as they would if it was an option team. You have got to run mesh every single day and just dedicate 5 to 7 to 10 minutes every day running it. And what we did was Monday, we ran this version. Tuesday, we ran the 3x1 version. I'm going to show you that right now. And then Wednesday, we ran it at a 2-back. So for us, nothing really changes. Let's just go to a 1 high right now because that's everybody complains about 2 highs. And you would be amazed at the kind of stuff that defensive coordinators come out. Sometimes people on Twitter don't actually believe it, but defensive coaches, especially if you go fast, they come out with some really random stuff. And you're just like, okay, thank you. You played right into our hands. So when we go 3x1, we're just bringing the F over to number 3. And in fact, some years we put him at number 2. This year we put him at number 2 because our number 3 was better than him. So we've got mesh, and nothing changes for the R. That's the beautiful thing about this. Nothing changes for the R. So let's just have him instead. This time he gave the quarterback a signal. He wants to run a speed out, 10-yard speed out. Nothing changes for the Y. He is still setting the mesh right there, settling up if people come. If not, if it's man-to-man, he's slightly going up the field, looking for the ball over his shoulder as he's doing it. The L is coming underneath and making sure that the Y is right, and he is going and either settling up, or if it's man-to-man, he's going up. And now the tailback is checking, like there's a pass blocking. Is anything coming? Yes, he takes it. If not, he's releasing to the flat. And then the F is doing the same thing he did on the other side. He's going to the flat. And nothing, here's the beautiful thing. Look at it. Nothing changes for the quarterback. It's still the same progression. R, whatever route the R called, if you're not comfortable teaching this kid or doing the reps over and over again of the R, making the call based on the defense, you can tag it yourself. You can say mesh corner, mesh post, mesh out, whatever it is, you can tag that yourself. You can do that game plan week to week. It doesn't matter. But let's just say it's an out. So it's an out or the R, then to the flat, which in the 2x2, it was a tailback. Now it's the F. So out, flat, first mesh, second mesh, backside. And now the tailback needs to know, okay, 3x1. I'm the backside. If I am so wide open that I can get 10 yards, I'm going to give a ball call. And the quarterback knows, hey, coach has drilled in me. I hear ball call. I don't care where I'm at in that progression. I just turn and dump it. And if it's an interception or if the tailback doesn't get the 10 yards, then you are going to dig into that tailback's butt and you're going to get a new guy in there because that is his job. And you drill that every single day. And again, if they do this, so you got this guy out here, let's just say they bump it. So they still have the stack formation or whatever. What do I have enough people? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, so they get this because a lot of people talk to me, coach, they go man-to-man. What do? Well, this creates a natural rub, and this is the beautiful thing I like. I don't know how many of y'all see this, but we're starting to see if it is man-to-man or just 3x1, defenses play man-to-man on the outside guys a lot. It doesn't matter if it's 2 high or 1 high. They like to lock this guy up, and they like to lock this guy up. And that's fine because if the L is running his mesh and the corner is going with him, well, look at all this space because this guy has to take the tailback, and you have all this space backside. And if you actually see that in a game, you can get into 3x1, you can call mesh, and you can tell your quarterback, hey, think backside and tap your back. And that should tell the quarterback, okay, I'm going to go through my first progression, but after that, I am not looking all the way through. I'm going to the first one in case it's there, and then I'm immediately getting to the backside because I know this guy's running through all this traffic. It's man-to-man. There's no one back there, so I can dump it off. This has been such a big play for us when we go against odd fronts that like to bring this guy off to the side and play single coverage on the backside, the cat coverage with too high. Everybody does it. No one gives a defense any shit about them doing defense of the week or the year, but everybody likes to talk junk about the spread. But that I'm not getting on my soapbox on that one. But this is how Coach Mumme runs it at a 3x1, and it is beautiful. Now, I'm going to pause right here. I know this stream is a little bit. Are there any questions about this kind of stuff? And again, if you're just joining, welcome. I am Coach McKie. I run a YouTube channel, a blog. I have my own website, ronmackiefootball.com. I do my own podcast, Talking Football with Coach McKie. I don't know if you heard it, where I talk about different things with the spread and I interview people. I am just doing this for the month of February streaming. I've never streamed before on Facebook. This is the third day. I just like talking to football coaches. The Super Bowl just got over with. I'm kind of jonesing because I really hate baseball. No offense. I hope none of y'all like baseball. It is just incredibly boring to me. And right now, this is when you get better. And I'm just sharing my knowledge that I have. I want y'all to share yours as well. So thanks for being here. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, share it. Do whatever it is that people do on Facebook, because I don't know. I am learning. We're learning this together. All the coaches that are here, thank you so much. I know this is late and we got to go to sleep, but this is the only time I can do it. So if you want to know when I'm going live a lot, it's around this time. So I keep saying so a lot. I need to I need to stop. This is what we're doing. Now, the last thing I'm going to go into is how you can run mesh out of two-back with push motion, and still it doesn't change for the quarterback. And that is, I can't stress this enough, that is the major thing with the air raid, is keeping it simple for your quarterback, but making it look complex and look different to the defense. And in fact, really, if you get good at this, it doesn't even matter if the defense knows what you're running, because you practice it a lot more and you run it a lot more than the defense has practiced against you. This is our two-back formation. We call this green. Stole it straight from the air raid. Again, I steal everything from the air raid or coaches I like. That's just how I do things. And this is green, fast, mesh. And what fast tells is the F. Now you're running fast motion and you are to the Y side. Well, think about it. What is it? This looks just like the 3x1. Now, to the defense, you're in two backs. They're going to pack the box. They're going to do a lot of things that defenses do when they see two running backs in the backfield. But once you go fast motion, you make them declare they have to do something. Do they rotate? Do they bump out? Are they man-to-man and someone tears out with them? Either way, you force the defense's hand to do something. Now, I have a lot of things that I can do out of this. I have a whole course on my website at ronmackiefootball.com that talks about running your entire offense from just this one formation. So if you're looking to simplify your playbook and do something just out of this formation, you should check that out. But again, nothing changes for any of the wide receivers. The R, you have the 10-yard out or the corner or the post. Whatever you want the R to run, it is strictly up to you. The Y, you are running the mesh and you are setting it no deeper than 6. It can be under 6, because I asked Coach Mumme that. I said, hey, sometimes when we run this thing, our wide receiver is actually under 6 yards. He's at like 2 or 3. How do you train that? Are there any drills? Should I be worried? And he looked at me like I was a dumbass, and he was like, no, I don't care. As long as it's not past 6, you're fine. And I was like, oh, well, I mean, you've created this play, so if you say that's fine, it is fine with me. And I never worried about it again. So I'm glad. That was well worth the trip across the country to figure out the mesh concept. The L, you were setting the mesh and you were either setting it down, or if it's man-to-man, going up. Same thing with the Y. You're going up, and now the tailback, what you're doing is you're stepping up. Is anyone blitzing? So you're this way, and then you're releasing out to the back. Now, what does it look like? It looks like the same exact play out of 3x1. You have your out, to your swing, to your first mesh, to your second mesh, to your backside. If the tailback says ball, 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 you automatically catch turn and you throw it out there. And again, it's a quick game. It's 1.5 seconds. It should be gone. The ball should be out. And this is the thing. When you push motion like this, the defense can do either one of two things. This linebacker flies out there. Well, if that happens and you don't have this, you can teach your quarterback, okay, you know whether this is open or not based on where this corner is. If this corner is pressed up like this, you may get it. You may have a stud there, but you might not. So then you come off your second read. Well, what's your second read? Your second read is this guy. But we go push motion, this linebacker flies that way. Okay, that's fine. Now you know where that grass is. So you still go through your progressions, but you can speed it up a little bit. You can go 1, 2, and get to 3 really fast because you know that's where it's going to be. Or if you push motion and this linebacker just stays here, well, then you know you're high-low in this corner because there's nothing out there. It's a 1-on-2 fast break offense. And basketball, you're just taking that concept and putting it on the football field. So there you have it. That's the first thing. Or if you fast motion like this, well, now you know they're spinning down. And if they're doing that, then it's one of two things. It's cover 3 where he's got the deep third and he's taking this. So now you have grass. Or it's man-to-man. And if it's man-to-man, this is where this thing really shines because once they touch and clap and then they see it's man-to-man, well, now he's moving up the hash. And that's very important. You got to tell him, get on the hash. And the quarterback is just floating it over his right shoulder to catch it. And then it's payday. And that's what I love about the fast motion. You make the defense do something. They have to tell you what they are doing. So there you go, coaches. Thank you so much. It's 25 minutes talking ball with y'all. This is how Hal Mumme teaches the mesh concept. If you have any questions, you can type them in the comments right now. If not, you can reach out on my Facebook page. You can reach out to me on my Twitter account. I'm at Coach McKie, McKie Jr. You can email me at ronmackey@ronmackeyfootball.com, or you can catch me on YouTube. It's youtube.com/C/Coach McKie. All of those places, reach out to me. I love talking ball. You can post a comment in the group or on my page. Again, I'm going to be doing this every single month, hopefully. Every single day this month, hopefully, if I can. Talking ball tomorrow, I'm going to talk about Mike Leach's way of how he has taken this concept and kind of putting his own spin on it and how he teaches it to his players. And actually, I can see it. Now, his way is he gives his players more choice and more freedom to do things. If I'm starting out, I'm going with Hal Mumme's way because it's a strict 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, and it's the same concept or the same thought process for my quarterback in the Y stick as the Y corner and the mesh. So, coaches, thank y'all so much for being here. Thank you for staying up and listening to my goofy ass ramble on about football. I will see you tomorrow, and until then, let's continue to master the spread, score points, and have fun.